My name is Jessica Rice, and I am the founder of Jessica Rice Coaching. And I wanted to talk with you today about our hearts and what is it that our heart really wants. I think in honor of Valentine's Day, I wanted to share a little bit because oftentimes we think about this day in romantic settings, but we really don't think about how it pertains to ourselves and what it is that we can give ourselves. And so, in thinking about this, I wanted to ask, what is it that our heart truly deeply desires, especially as it pertains to success or maybe our bigger vision or our goals? And so, when we can really lean into our heart, we can truly ask it, what does it need? And what will our big goals and dreams fulfill in our heart? Will they bring comfort? Will they bring stability? Will it bring a sense of purpose or maybe even a sense of control? Or does it even help us to feel liked or loved? What are our goals really fulfilling for us on a deeper level? There is no right or wrong answer here. It's just a matter of informing ourselves and digging a little bit deeper so that we can understand what it is that we're seeking and do so on a richer level so that we can inform ourselves of maybe some of those hidden needs that may or may not be addressed in our lives. And so, one of the ways I wanted to share with you that you can do this is through Heart Math Institute's heart focused breathing tool. And it's just a way of leaning into our heart on a deeper level. So, if it sounds a little out there, it's actually not. It's something that HeartMath even uses, or large agencies use with first responders, firefighters, EMT, police who are dealing with traumatic situations that they're having to go into and address for themselves. And so it can even help with the PTSD and types of things that come up for them and lowering that heightened level of stress that they might be experiencing as they're walking into, or even when they're walking away from an experience like that. And so I will use this technique often, even with my clients who are experiencing heightened levels of stress in their jobs, or even with their experiencing burnout. And so when we can really leverage our heart in a different way, we can center into it and we can shift our focus here to, the deeper meaning, the deeper care that we're experiencing here, we can move out of our analytical mind into a more sensory state. And it really enables us to connect with ourselves and have that emotional intelligence that we need to carry forward in our jobs, in our careers, in the things that we're facing on a daily basis. And so some of the ways that you could use this is when you are approaching having a difficult or challenging conversation, or managing conflict, or just dealing with everyday pressures of your role. Maybe there's pressure to perform or to deliver. You can really tap into heart-focused breathing, centering into what is it that your heart, the wisdom of your heart, what would it tell you? And ask yourself, what is the desired outcome? How can we breathe into our heart into a way that is intentional and enables us to traverse through that challenge? And so I wanted to quickly just take you through one of the heart-focused breathing technique. It's one of the many techniques that Heart Math provides, but it's one of the most foundational in the sense of how you can use it. And so this is the one I often teach to my clients. So if you can take a moment, this is not a meditation and it does not require you to, require you to close your eyes. It's something that's intended to be done at any time of the day. And so that you can handle this when you're in presentations, you're in a meeting, if you're walking into a conversation, it's simply just a matter of staying focused. And so if you can take a minute and just slow your breathing down for a minute and really think about leaning into this space in your heart and just centering your focus, putting real intention into the area of your heart, imagining your breath. It's flowing in and out of this space and really putting emphasis on your heart. Really take notice of your breathing, the rhythms of your breathing, and allow for it to just slow down a little bit. Breathe in a little bit deeper than potentially usual. And just find an easy rhythm that's comfortable. And as you're doing this, then you can ask, what types of emotions would I like to be feeling right now? What types of emotions could I experience the opposite of? If I'm feeling stressed, how could I experience calm or ease? What type of outcome would I like from this conversation? What would I like to walk away achieving from this experience? What is it that my heart needs or is wanting to tell me? So when you're really just thinking about it through this space in your heart, really asking yourself those types of questions, even if you're in the middle of a conversation, by really leaning into this place. And that's it. It's really rather simple. And what this can do for you is it can slow down that fight or flight response that you can be feeling. Your central nervous system is kicking in. If you have stress that you're experiencing, especially prolonged stress, can really eliminate that energy drain that you might experience, or, removing drama from situations, just neutralizing those emotional responses that you might encounter in your daily life. So breathing into our desire, it can really help us to think about too, those big goals, how they fulfill us, what it is that we really, really want, and how can we align our goals with what it is that our heart is leading us towards. What type of role does that look like? What type of impact are we wanting to make? What type of legacy are we wanting to leave behind? And really centering and aligning ourselves with that deeper connection and deeper meaning and purpose. This can also be incredibly useful for handling traumatic situations. Again, we can use this technique to move through trauma, or when it resurfaces. Sometimes trauma can hold us back from achieving our big goals. And so if we can recognize what's going on for us, then we have a better way of understanding how we can move through that or break through some of the limitations that we set for ourselves. I've used this personally to overcome anxiety that I have faced from past traumas, PTSD that's come up for me in unexpected places, like giving a presentation or having a difficult conversation with someone. And the anxiety that I feel, not just even from that situation, but from past experiences that then resurface, and I can use it as a way to tell myself that I'm safe and I don't need to be in fear. So if you've experienced trauma, this can be a really wonderful tool. And if you have also experienced like neurodivergence from trauma, or you're experiencing neurodivergence, and this can be another way to help if you're feeling scattered or feeling flustered, to really center in. I also homeschool my son. He has ADHD and dyslexia. And it's one of the tools that we use when we're encountering a topic, even for him, that might bring some levels of anxiety or stress, such as reading, where he is expectant of something negative happening. And so then we can breathe in to his heart and really recenter and refocus and bring it back so that we can feel, safe, and that there's trust as we're moving forward in certain lessons. And so this is something that you can use similarly if you're facing that in your daily career, life, work, whatever. If you are curious about more about trauma and neurodivergence, I highly recommend you check out Gabor Mate. He has some excellent books. One is The Myth of Normal, and he also has a film called The Wisdom of Trauma. And those would be some excellent places to start. There was also a really fantastic post, even this morning, from Professor Amanda Kirby, talking about navigating the intersection of trauma and neurodivergence. And so if those are things that intrigue you or that you want to know more about, I encourage you to go check them out and read more up on that. But I wanted to talk with you and share with you this because I think sometimes when we are disconnected, when we cut off access to our heart and how it informs our daily work, we are missing key elements, key pieces of how we can move forward and succeed. And so when you're leaning into what your heart is wanting, then you can know how you can better handle stress, painful challenges that you face in your life, different types of work settings that you're encountering. It's really a useful way to understand the path that you want to cultivate for yourself and for your life's work so that you have meaning, fulfillment, and purpose. So I really wanted you to understand, give yourself this gift today. Loving yourself is the best gift you can give yourself on Valentine's Day. Because when we love ourselves deeply, then we are able to deeply transfer that love in healthy ways in everything that we do, in our work, in the way that we show up, how we interact with others. We can be greatly connected in a deeper way to ourselves and then to others. And so I wanted to close just with a quote from Gabor Mate from The Wisdom of Trauma. It says, "It starts when we allow our wounds to teach us about listening, self-love, and compassion, and to remind us of the preciousness of life. Then truth opens our hearts, and our innate wisdom begins to shine through our wounds." So I hope that this was helpful for you today to think about how you can apply your heart in a greater way to the work that you do and how you leave an impact on this world and what it is that you want to accomplish moving forward. I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day, and we'll talk soon.